Hey everybody, Johnny B. Good here. Welcome to Ohio. We're somewhere near Van Wert, Ohio. Alright, we're traveling on Interstate 30 East. In fact, we're coming up to an Ohio scale here. The local time is 2:41. We are now down to 106 miles to Fairfield, Ohio. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this video for the next 106 miles on 720p. I'm gonna run this whole thing that way you guys can see the whole trip. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm sure some of you, most of you probably will find it boring, and I'm sure some of you might like it. So probably will not say much of anything for the next 2 hours. I wonder if that lady is the scale master. They don't look like anybody's in there. I guess there were a few. Once again, I'd like to say hello to Christina and Nathan. As my dad would say, those two are lovebirds. Oh, I heard from Vincent Pauly today, all the way from Iowa. My young cowboy friend. who always says, country is countrywide. Right, Vincent? I like that name, Vincent. I had a really good friend back in younger days where his name was Ben Martinito actually. Ben Martinito, but we call him Ben Martz. Now I know one of you is also named Ben Martz. What a coincidence. Anyway, Ben he was a folk country singer in the Philippines, and he did his, singing in bars and restaurants and tiny little places. And one time, I went back home to the Philippines, and I bought with me one of those cheap pair of cowboy boots, the kind that you can buy. Well, I may hit it this way now. Okay. Anyway, I bought one of those cheap cowboy boots you can buy at the TA, and I brought it home to the Philippines, and I gave it to Ben. I tell you, I've never seen a guy so happy in all my life. I mean, he used that every night when he was singing at bars and all doing his gigs. And nobody else in his crowd could beat him to having cowboy boots. I don't know how long that boots lasted him, but man, he guarded that thing with his life. From what I heard, he got a gig singing in Japan, also in China, somewhere maybe in Macau, China, I think it is. He was a very good singer and string guitar player. And every time my friends and I would visit his venues, he would always sit with us. He rarely did that to others, but whenever we came around, I mean, he was part of us. So yeah. That's one thing I've always dreamed about, was in Mindanao, there's a portion of Mindanao that they adapted the Western lifestyle. Farming. They even have horses up there. And if I had the right capital, I would open up a Western store. And sell cowboy boots, you know, saddles, all that Western stuff. Then I'd go out to New Mexico or Arizona and start selling Native American jewelries. But then again, the cost of shipping it over there, all the tax, all the customs, and all the bureaucracy, and I don't know. Another business venture I always dreamed of is Camiguin Island is known for, you know, no pollution, plenty of running spring water, springs everywhere. In fact, there's one spring right next to my house. I thought, man, if I could get me one of those big boats or tankers and just import that water to the big city of Mindanao. The name alone of that water, you know, Camiguin Island Spring, it'd be kind of like the name Wisconsin to a cheese. It would sell just because where it came from. Bad feeling that Thomas over here is taking me the long way around. I can't understand why. We almost went back the same way. by the way, that tire cost, mounting, dismounting, plus a new retread, was $273.61. We are in Wren, W-R-E-N, Indiana. You know what really disappoints me or makes me kind of angry. You know, our economy, we're what, $21 trillion in deficit. Half of the people in this country are unemployed or at a dead-end job. The economy is, you know, really bad. People in this country are divided politically. We got so many problems. There's so many people that want to hurt America itself. And whenever I hear this, that a teacher gets fired or gets sued because he or she posted Merry Christmas at her classroom door. I just, I really think that some people on this, even in our country, they could care less what the economy is. They care less about anything. Just be politically correct. Just be nice. And their reason is always like, well, that could hurt a child with a different religion or a child with no religion. Has there ever been a child in history that has been traumatized? By being greeted by, you know, Merry Christmas. You know, one guy on the internet the other day said something where they had a big fit because a guy put up a Christmas tree in town, and on the top of the Christmas tree, instead of a star, he put a cross up there. So, the ACLU went after him for blah, blah, blah. And he says, you know, if I take this cross down, what are you going to do with all these churches around town? There are at least 20 churches in this town that's got crosses in their front yards or in the door. So obviously, all these lawsuits that are brought by individuals, they're always blaming, or they're always saying it's for their kids. Kids could care less. Where are we going? Baby Blue still wants me to go that way. What a joke. So why is it that in every country, almost always the worst enemy is within? I think there are more countries have fallen by the enemy within its people than foreign conquerors. Welcome to Rockford, Indiana. By the way, I get this comment a lot that my boss should get me a new truck. I agree. But you know what the reality is? My boss bought this truck exactly last year. This is a 2012 model. And I don't think he's gonna sell it anytime soon, especially when it's not yet paid for. And yes, I miss Miss Blue quite a bit. And I think my boss has been accused by several people of being cheap. I don't think my boss is cheap. I think he's just mindful for every penny that he spends. Blue is taking me somewhere else because I got it set to a different destination. What a dodo. This is where the corner where we always come out of. Right here, then we make a left on this road going that way. I feel like a horse's patoot. More so than yesterday. Today's Wednesday, early release for the baby. Hello? Baby Ishi! Baby, baby, baby. Okay. What is it? Does it belong to me? Does it have my name on it? Why are you asking me? What suggest? Yeah, okay, fine. Just so you know, I don't know what you're talking about. There's food in the fridge. You're asking me if you can eat it. I have no idea, so yeah, I don't think my answer would help you. Jimmy John's? Jimmy John's? You want Jimmy John's? Huh? Okay. So, while I got you on file, and oh, thank you, love you too. Thanks for the medicine. All right, so are you gonna hang up now and text Mama, or you want me to stay on? Baby, is Neptune a planet or a rock? Yeah. What if, okay, so what if it's Neptune, Ohio? Does that mean it's a planet? The Greek. Oh, really? That's Greek mythology? Probably Greek. So Ariel's dad is considered Neptune then? Ariel's dad? Not Ariel. Ariel didn't have a dad, right? Huh? You know the Little Mermaid? That God of the Sea. Okay. Because I just passed a town called Neptune, Ohio. So, how many of you have fallen off? How many are you are still watching? An hour and 3 minutes so far. Holy smokies. Ohio. I think I kind of misspoke earlier when I said Warren, Indiana. I meant to say Warren, Ohio. Or Ren was, yeah, I think it was Ren. W-R-E-N, right? Lately I have been, well, I've always been fascinated with aviation. Lately I have been fascinated with the new technologies of drones, electric drones. And, it's very clear to me that no matter how advanced technology has become, it is so limited by the power source. Technology has come so far ahead in the last 10-20 years, but the power source has always been somewhat the same. Beautiful flying machines out there, but like drones, they can stay flying for like what, at the most 30 minutes. I wonder when we're gonna build a Star Trek kind of power source. Energy source of what? Iron Man. When he put all that energy in a crystal. Here's a question for you. If somebody gave you a choice to give you $1 million to tour around the world anywhere you want. Give you a $1 million. You can't spend it on anything else. You can't save anything of it. You gotta use it to go around the world to any choices, any place, destination you want to go. Or give you $1 million in a little shop or like a research lab. A research lab with $1 million resource. And invent just about anything you want to make. Create all those silly ideas you've come up with over the years. Now I'm sure most of you out there are probably like me. I've got a whole dozen full of a closet full of ideas. Granted, most of them are just a dream or fantasy, but I actually have a really good idea of a product that could potentially make a lot of money and could help a lot of people. I've never broken a leg or broken a toe or I've never broken a bone in my life. Although I did fracture my nose when I had an accident, but that was it. But I've always seen people, every time they break for example, an ankle or something or a foot, they have this big, cast on. They've got this two crutches, and they're always having to lift their leg up a little bit, otherwise their foot would drag on the concrete. I've got an idea that would prevent you from having to do that. I really think it's a good idea. And as far as I know, nobody has, that product does not yet exist. But I don't have the time and the resource to develop it or know how to patent it and all that stuff. So back to the original question. Would I take $1 million trip or would I just stay in the lab? I'd stay in the lab. Who knows? Maybe $500,000 later, you could actually come up with something that makes you 30 times more than that. I don't know. When I was younger, I've always had this daydream about traveling the world, exploring. The idea to me is kind of romantic, although I've never done it. So hey, just because I think about it, that doesn't mean that I was really gonna like it. But after traveling for 20 years now, being on the road, I don't know, it gets old. I think I would just rather stay home. Now, would I feel that way if I was in Paris or Bermuda or out in Fiji or I don't know. So let me ask you this: if you had an idea of an invention or something to improve a product with, how would you go about doing it? You know, chances are I will never be able to develop this idea that I have. It's really quite simple, really. And I don't think it's going to cost that much. And I really should tell somebody so that somebody could do something with it. But I don't know. I don't want to let it go in hope that maybe someday I can do it. And from what I've heard about those, what I've heard from those TV commercials, you know, the kind that says, "Hey, if you have a new idea or new inventions or a product improvement, will help you patent it, will help you develop it and all that." I heard those guys are pretty darn big scammers. There comes the broker again. Hello? Yes. Okay, right now I am in Sydney, Ohio, 82 miles away. Roughly an hour and 15 minutes. So that sits about 5:20, something like that. Okay, thanks. That was the broker. be right back.